Alrighty guys, another day, another strength, and I'm back with another video today. And in this video, we're going to be talking about your health. That's right, for your health. Hashtag Dr. Steve Brule. And we're going to be talking about the physical exercise side of your health, right? And so the core of your physical exercise, in my opinion, should make up natural human movement patterns. So we're going to dive into that in this video. So really, most people don't care about being as strong or as jacked as possible, right? They just want to have a good mix of strength, looking good, feeling good, being generally healthy, right? And we're not trying to get too crazy with all this other stuff, right? And I would argue that it's good to take a well-rounded approach like that because you're going to exceed in any one category in the sense that you have a decent base, so you can then very easily kind of like maximize one aspect of that base, right? So that's pretty based. Anyways, physical exercise, right? Talking natural human movement patterns. In general, like everyday functions is what I'm talking about here, right? So things we do all the time. So on the strength side of things, that would be, squatting, deadlifting, pressing and pulling. So like sitting down, standing up, picking something up off the floor, et cetera, right? You've heard this 1,000 times. So that's your general strength side of things. And then also on your general conditioning side of things, there are some natural human movement patterns that I think are important, such as walking, jogging, running, and sprinting, which is a spectrum of basically walking to sprinting, right? Very important. We do that every single day. And then also you have things like jumping, which you can train in the weight room with cleans, snatches, the Olympic lifts, right? So don't skip those because they're very important. And then you can also get kind of sport specific or region specific as well with some of these movements. So in some examples would be like sport specific, like cycling or rowing. And then region specific might be like swimming if you're near water or the ocean, or like climbing if you live near the mountains, right? So it's good to have all of these different skills kind of sharpened. So the general strength side of things is more force production. You're training generally in the gym, trying to overload those movements. And on the conditioning side of things, it's more skill practice, right? And kind of just general physical readiness in case you ever have to throw yourself into one of those situations, like if you're being chased by someone or if you have to, swim out to rescue someone off the shore or something like that, right? So very important. And it's important to touch on the difference between training and exercise. So exercise is done for the effect that it produces that day. Training is done for the long-term effect, the accumulation or the aggregate of the work that you're putting in, either in the weight room or with the thing that you're doing. And I would argue that you want to train both your strength and your conditioning to the extent that you can have them both at a good, decent level of general, physical preparedness, the GPP term to, use a little internet buzzword there. But I think you should train them both as much as you can without interfering with each other. And in general, that's going to be a lot more strength training and a little bit of conditioning. And the reason that I think that's important is because the strength becomes very important as you age for reducing the likelihood of falling down, right? So you don't fall down as much. You take less fall damage if you do fall down. Your muscle is going to help stave off dementia. There's all kinds of other diabetes. It's going to help keep your A1C under control. There's a whole host of benefits of having a lot of muscle mass as you age, right? So that part's the most important. But these adaptations are going to complement each other, right? I would argue that being generally in shape is always a good thing. So you could argue that the same person, if he's, not strong, if he gets stronger, he's going to be happier, he's going to be better off, he's going to be more confident, et cetera, et cetera. You can argue those same things if you take a strong person that's not really in shape, like they can't run very far, they kind of, they're chunkier, they're out of breath. If you get that person in shape, and they stay strong in the process, like that person is then better off. I think you can argue that as well, right? But we don't want to get strong at the expense of our health is basically the gist of the get to the cracking down, getting the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about here. Speaking of meat and potatoes, right? These movements, right, the main movements are going to be your meat and potatoes in the gym, the core of your program. So in that case, or, if those are going to be your main movements, the barbell is the best tool for training them. And the reason for that, simply put, is because it allows you to scale them over time and perform that natural human movement, right? There's nothing that has a lower barrier to entry than you just walk into a gym, you go up to a barbell and you pick it up off the floor, and then you're doing a deadlift, you're already training right then and there. You pick it up overhead and press it, and now you're doing a press, right? Same thing with squatting down, standing up, et cetera, et cetera. Barbell row, pulling the thing towards you, right? So you can get more varied and more advanced over time, right? But the reason we want to start with the barbell is because we have a limited amount of time in the gym, so we want to train as much muscle as possible and really maximize that time. And then as you advance and as you kind of, highlight other areas that you want to train, then you can incorporate extra, bakshish, if you will, and try to get more out of your training. But yeah, the one analogy I would use is with your diet, right? So just like I said, the barbell stuff is like the meat and potatoes of the training. the macronutrients, and then you can kind of fill in with any micronutrients that you're not getting from those main movements, because you're going to get most of them from that anyways, right? So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, say something in the comments. I'll probably make another follow-up on the diet side of things for general health, and let me know what you want to see next aside from that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, goodbye.